Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back with another Star Wars figure review. Today, taking a look at an insane piece, really a crazy centerpiece for my entire collection. And I think this is easily the most expensive single figure I've ever purchased. It is the Hot Toys Battle Damage Darth Vader Deluxe Special Edition. It's the Deluxe Edition and also the Special Edition. Um, this figure is absolutely crazy. I know when they announced it and they originally revealed it, it's a figure I had to have. Darth Vader is my favorite Star Wars character. He's my favorite character in all of fiction, really. And I try not to collect the same character multiple times with Hot Toys. They're just too expensive to do that, but I'll make exceptions if the designs of the figures are wildly different. And this one is. He's all beat up, ravaged, damaged, beaten up, and yeah, this thing's absolutely insane. But I'm not gonna go too crazy on the box. Not gonna open it up or anything because the box is huge. It's you can't really tell from the video, but it is a massive box. I was really surprised when it came in. It's maybe the biggest box I've ever had for a single figure. Definitely the biggest box I've had for a Hot Toys figure. But I'll show the front real quick just to have something to show. But I'm not really going to go too much into the box because, you want to see the figure. So we're going to take a look at actually everything that Vader comes with, and then we'll get onto the figure itself. All right, and here is, I believe, pretty much everything he comes with. This is, like I said, this is the most expensive, the version that comes with the most stuff. You could get just the standard edition or the deluxe edition, and both the standard edition and the deluxe edition both had special edition versions as well, and I will show you what you got with the special edition. But first off, you get some of your not really accessories but tool things. You do get your tool to move the eyeballs because there's a couple of those head sculpts where you can do that, which is always nice to have. You also get the little box thing and some other pieces to be able to do the electronics on the figure, which I won't be able to show, unfortunately. I don't have a setup for a USB powered electronics on these figures, but I'll point them out anyways. Then you get your hand options. These are all the same no matter which version of the figure you get, as far as I know. I only don't have one of the gloved hands. He does have a gloved hand for holding the lightsaber. That's on the figure. But the other ones you have is like this relaxed hand / kind of like holding his belt kind of hand. Then you have two dynamic splayed out hands. This one's in a bit more of like a force grip. And then this one's a bit more splayed out, like a force push or something, which is cool that you get some options there. These are a little bit of a pain in the ass to get on the figure because they have the whole longer part of the glove, and you have to try to fiddle with it to get the peg to go into the hand. And I have the kind of an issue with that. It's always been kind of difficult on Vader figures. It's the same deal with my Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader. Although the Dark Empire Luke I reviewed sort of recently, it also came out this year, has similar hands, and he has no problem swapping his hands. So I don't know why the Vader one still has issues. So that's a little unfortunate. I don't usually try to really swap those gloved hands out much because it's kind of annoying. And then you get 4 hands for his exposed prosthetic arm. You get a relaxed open hand, which he has on him out of the box. And all these are painted and sculpted beautifully with this nice dusty dirt weathering because he is battle damaged. He's been in the thick of it. The gold tips are cool. You get a splayed out force pushing dynamic hand. You get a closed fist, which is cool. And then you also get a gripping hand for this side as well. So if you want to have him hold the saber in his left arm, or if you just want to have him in a two-handed pose. So that's a decent array of hands. I can't think of much else. Maybe like a more obvious force choking hand maybe, but other than that, I think they did pretty good there. Of course, you get his lightsaber. I have to assume this is reused from a previous release. I don't know for sure though, but it's sculpted nicely, painted well. Does have a little hook. You can hook it onto his belt. And then you get 2 saber effects. You get the standard blade, which has a pretty nice deep crimson. I like that. It's on other Vader figures, like the ESB one, I think it's a bit paler. I don't like that as much. And then you also have the swooshing in motion blade effect, which is always appreciated. It looks pretty good, although kind of difficult to get poses where that actually looks good. I don't have it shown here, but you do also get the USB lightsaber that has the cord coming out of it, so you can have it light up. I always keep those in the box. I never use them. I don't think the lights are particularly that good looking. I'm barely ever going to actually use that functionality. But if that's something you like to use, the figure does come with that. Now you also get a display base. It's a really large one. It has some really nice sculpting. You got all these cords and cables that are attached to it going into the top. Got some really nice detail weathering painted on there, which is great. This little plastic bit is for the alternate cape, which I'll talk about in a second. You do get the normal adjustable crotch grabber. The stand is actually on a ball joint, so you can actually articulate it. I guess it adds some gives you additional display options. I don't really know why you want to do that, but I can't see myself just using that for display in any way, but maybe there's something you could do with it, so that's cool. It also has a light up feature. You can plug a USB into it. There's a little switch. It's back. You can't really see it. It's back here. Yeah, there you go. And that lights up the lights on the bottom as well as the red lights on the ring at the top there. Again, I apologize, I can't show that, but it is cool. I have tested it. And if you were in like a dark room, it would illuminate underneath them pretty nicely. Light up features are always cool, but they are kind of gimmicky at the end of the day, in my opinion. Now you get 3 head sculpts in total, but you get like up to like 5 ways you could display the head. The head that's on him out of the packaging is the completely unhelmeted sculpt, which I think looks really, really nice. Definitely going for more of a Hayden likeness here than Sebastian Shaw, considering I would assume this is supposed to be like Vader in his prime and younger, so they went with the more Hayden look. And I would guess they probably based this off of how he looked in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, would be my guess. Looks really nice. I like the paled lips. The Sith eyes look awesome with the yellow and red. He's got all the scarring and whatnot, but he's not like super fresh. He's, been active for a little while, so he's paled up a bit, healed up a little bit, but still has a lot of that crazy scarring, which I think looks really, really good. And you still get also a lot of awesome detail on the kind of neck brace of the helmet as well. And you do have a weathering on that too. One thing to keep in mind, which I didn't realize till it was a little too late, these little nubs, for lack of a better term, on the neck brace thing, these are actually pretty fragile. When you're popping the head on and off the body, do not put your fingers and your force onto the end of this. I actually ended up snapping this one off. I glued it on, so you really can't tell that it ever was broken, but this is a really small piece. It's honestly a small miracle I was even able to find it and repair it. But keep that in mind. This is pretty fragile. These are pretty fragile. You don't want to snap those off. You do get 2 options for this. So you get this little piece here, which is a little piece of the broken helmet. You can slot that onto the edge there, and you can make it look like the helmet's been mostly completely blown off, but there's still a little piece left, which I think looks really cool. You can, of course, opt to just have this fresh, just in casing like you took the helmet off. But if you want to look like it was torn off, you can have that. This comes with all versions as far as I know. And then if you get either of the special editions, Deluxe or Standard, you get this piece, which is a full half of the mask. And you put that on, and then you get this look, which I think is absolutely awesome. This is one of the selling points for the figure for me. Definitely based off of The Force Unleashed. This was a look that the statue, Gentle Giant statue had, the Hasbro 3 3/4 inch figure had. I think the model in the game did too, but I'm not entirely sure. But you get this look. The lens is translucent, so if you have your lighting a certain way, you can see his eye through it. But it just looks super, super cool. This is an awesome display option. And you still also have a lot of nice sculpted and painted detail on the inside of that, which I think is very cool. As well as on the neck collar itself. So that's really cool options for the helmet, the unhelmeted sculpt there. You also get a full helmet with no damage aside from weathering, as you can see painted on. He's got like dust and dirt and grime splayed out onto the lenses, onto the helmet there, some like light silver scratches. He's just taken some minor damage and seen some action, some rusting or dirt or whatnot on the side there. Some of the like black paint maybe scored away. But I really like this. I have to assume this is also reused. I would guess it's a reused sculpt of the Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader helmet, just repainted. But I think it looks really, really good. It's like not an option I'll probably display him with often, because the point of the figure is to be all completely torn apart and everything, and I think the other head sculpts are cooler. But it's still nice to give you this option if you want the full helmet still. And honestly, the figure still looks really cool with the full helmet. This comes with every version, no matter which version you get. Then the last head sculpt you only get if you get the deluxe release. It is the battle damaged version with the piece taken off of one side. Very Obi-Wan Kenobi series styled. I don't know for sure because I don't have the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. My guess is that the mask and head sculpt itself is reuse, maybe repainted. The helmet is new though, because on the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, the cut goes really far up the helmet. Here, it is just a little notch and it doesn't go all the way up. So I like that they added a little bit of new sculpting just to make it a little more differentiated. It makes it look a bit more like Rebels, to be honest. But this also looks fantastic. I never got the Obi-Wan Kenobi Hot Toys Vader figure, so I'm glad I was still able to kind of get that look, because I absolutely love the look of the full helmet with the one side blasted off. The face underneath looks really good. To move the eyeball, you remove the dome, the helmet part off. It just pegs on, and then you can go behind and move the eye. Again, a lot of crazy nice sculpted and painted detail there. It looks really good. Yeah, a bit more damage on the side there. It's worth noting that the helmet does not come off on the full helmeted one. There's not like a sculpt of the back of his head like the Empire Strikes Back figure had. So don't try to take the helmet off of the helmeted one. The instructions tell you that. I recommend reading them, but if you get this figure, yeah, don't try to take that off. And then lastly, can't really easily show you, but he comes with, if you get the deluxe release, you also get swappable capes. So I have the normal cloth cape on the figure. I'll talk about that when we talk about the figure. But you get a fully sculpted plastic cape. And this is really cool because it's made to look like it's sweeping in the wind, and then also it's sweeping in the wind and makes a silhouette of Vader's mask, which I think is such an awesome display piece. And when you get this set up with this cape on, you get your head sculpt you like on them and put them on the stand, it is by far one of the most, if not the most impressive piece I have on display in my collection. Like, it's crazy how much shelf presence this thing has when you have this all set up the way you want it. It looks super cool. The cape has a lot of nice like brown, like deep red shading to give it some extra detail as well. Just looks super good. I will try to show that off later, put this on and show it. But for now, I want to talk about the figure before we do that. So I'm going to get one of these head sculpts onto the figure. I don't know which one I'll put on. I'll start with maybe this one, and then when I swap capes, I may put one of the other ones on. I don't think I'm going to show this one on it, you know. Yeah, I'll get that going and we'll take a look. All right, now I have the figure here with the head sculpt on, and this thing just looks phenomenal. There is so much awesome detail going on here. I really love this thing a lot. It was really expensive, but I don't regret it. It is super, super cool. I got the head sculpt on there. We kind of took a look at those already, but you can kind of get a look at what it looks like with those pieces on, and then really quickly, easy to swap them. I can tab on the other one just to show you how it looks while it's on the body. And I think that looks really, really good. I'm going to take it off just for now, though. It just, while I'm handling it, just makes it easier to have the smaller one. For some reason, the smaller one tabs in a bit more securely. I don't really know why. But taking a closer look at the armor, it looks really good with all the dirt and damage. You got a huge cut on there. You can see like the under part of the armor that's sculpted on there, which is great. Shoulders all beat up. The cape he has on, this is the soft goods cape. It does have a wire running the full length of the right side. I don't think there's a wire on the bottom. There's no wires in the middle of it either. I think it's just a wire on the left or right side, and then there's a wire that goes down to a point on the left side as well. The left side has battle damage with cuts and tears and whatnot, which I think looks pretty cool. That's nice. The wire's not like super strong. It lets you alter, like pose it a little bit, but you're not gonna be getting like crazy dynamic posing. It can't like hold a pose like up like this. It's just not gonna happen. The left side of them, it's kind of funny. The left side of the figure is mostly untouched, but then, or right side is mostly untouched, but the left side is where all the damage is. It's kind of cool. You can see kind of how he looked cleaned up, and then you see what the damage, how extensive the damage is on the other side. The undersuit is not a pleather. It's using the nylon material that some figures have used now. The Dark Empire Luke, as well as the Lord Starkiller, have used this nylon material to give it the effect of a leather suit, but be a lot more durable and hold up a lot more over time and not flake, which is super great. You can see that gripping hand I have on the right arm there. He has the chest box all sliced and bashed up, similar to the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. The back is pretty clean. You have the cables there for the LED lights. Again, like I said, I can't show it. The chest box doesn't light up, but the belt boxes do light up. And they light up pretty nice and bright. I did test it, but I just can't show it. I don't have the setup to do that. You can see the exposed flesh on his torso there and all the burn and damage marks and whatnot, and the cut and dirtied up outfit looks super cool. The sleeve on the arm there torn up. You can see the remnants of his arm anyways. And then you have the full prosthetic arm, which looks really good with the black. It's weathered up to be all dirtied. You got the gold, you got the cables that hook into his actual flesh, which looks super cool. They are of a flexible plastic. They have to be so you can articulate it, but you still want to be careful. You want to make sure you're not going to pinch these or anything like that because they are still fragile. A cool thing is that the arm actually extends. I have the arm extended right now. You can push it in if you want for aesthetic purposes, but you can extend the arm so you can get a much deeper bend, which is nice. Again, you just got to be careful of these cables. And then when you're swapping the left hand, you want to be holding it at the bottom part because you hold it here, you start kind of moving these panels. They're kind of not super sturdy, so you don't want to break them. The left side of his robe here, again, torn up holes, dirty marks, and all that looks really nice. The lower robe does have a wire only on the right side, but you can pose it up a bit, make it look like it's a bit in motion, which is cool. You got the crotch piece there. The full side of the right side leg, you got the just normal pants, and then you got the leg armor and the normal boot, which looks pretty good. The left leg, again, you can see the damage on his pant leg there, and then the exposed flesh looks great. You've got the prosthetic leg showing, which looks super, super good with the cables there. Again, you want to be careful with these. They are fragile, but looks really good. I don't believe the knee extends, but it does have like a full 90-degree bend. So, and the cables mostly stay out of the way, which is good. And I really like the paint detailing on this kind of almost bluish hue shading, and then the damage, the dirt and whatnot that's accumulated on it. The pistons and the heel look really nice. The foot with the actual full toes and like the wires on each individual toe look really good as well. And yeah, just an absolutely fantastic looking figure. You know, can't say enough good things about it. It's just a one-of-a-kind piece, really. Like, I just don't see this ever being done again by Hot Toys. Very cool. Like I said, you can attach the saber hilt to his belt. There's a little hook on the belt there. You can hang it off. Works well. But I will be having him hold it. So to show that real quick, we can give him the saber. Put the blade in, which is pretty easy to do. I actually find his grip is like a little loose. Like, it's not like so loose where he's gonna drop the saber or anything, but it's just a little looser than I was expecting it to be. But you can have him hold the saber. Looks really good. And you can have the normal blade or the in motion blade. But very nice. In terms of articulation, you have a ball joint at the neck, which gets decent up, not much down. You get rotation, not a lot, a little bit of pivot, not a lot. The shoulders, they move out pretty far actually. You can move them, I'm trying to be careful here. You can move them forward. You do have to be careful about that far. You can maybe get it a bit more. I just don't really want to force it. He does have a full bicep swivel up above, so that's nice. I'm glad it's not here twisting the cables. They thought of that, so it's up higher so you don't twist any of those cables. Like I said, this extends so you can get a deeper bend. You do want to be careful of those cords, but you can get about 90 degrees, maybe a little further. It might extend a little farther, I'm not sure. Then this side with this hand has just a normal ball joint for the wrist. This side is pretty much all the same articulation. It goes up about the same amount, goes forward about the same amount. You get a bit of a deeper bend here because it has a normal double hinge joint underneath the suit. Then you have the normal universal style wrist peg for this side, but because he's wearing this fully one-piece sculpted gloved hands, it only rotates. You don't get any up and down motion. The waist is interesting. I don't know, they must have separated the fabric on the top from the fabric and nylon suit from the bottom, because you actually get a full waist swivel with no like resistance at all. It all moves separately. So that's really cool. I like that a lot. You also have your hips. which again, I don't want to force too much. You can kick them about that far. Let me kick this one. You might be able to get a little further. I just don't want to force it. Splits out pretty good, to be honest. You have double hinge knee at the right side that bends past 90. On the prosthetic, you just have a single hinge, but it goes 90. And then the ankle joint here moves pretty well, actually, pivot and whatnot. However, weirdly, the prosthetic foot articulation is pretty limited. It goes up just a little bit, down just a little bit, and like barely pivots. I do wish it had a much more of a pivot. I'm still able to get decent dynamic poses out of this figure, but that is a bit unfortunate. It feels like it should be able to go further, but it just doesn't. I don't know why. So that's a little unfortunate. That's a small complaint I have. But otherwise, he articulates pretty well. I mean, it's a Hot Toys Darth Vader figure. There's going to be limitations. You're not going to be doing the craziest stuff ever with these. But I think you can get some pretty cool dynamic stuff regardless. Now, we talked about articulation. Talked about pretty much everything. I think now, before I get the final kind of setup with the plastic cape, I'd like to do some quick comparison. So put him out here and we'll get a couple figures to do that. So just a quick comparison with a couple other figures on the left or right. So yeah, left, sorry, geez. On the left, we have the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader. It's specifically the 40th anniversary release, if that matters. The only other Vader, Hot Toys Vader I have, which I think is still a good figure, although there are definitely better ones out there now. And then on the right, we have the Lord Starkiller from very early this year, which I think aesthetically goes very well with the Battle Damage Darth Vader. But it's cool to see the Empire Strikes Back one and the Battle Damage one neck and neck beside each other. I haven't done that yet, just to see, you know, how damaged he is. But they complement each other pretty well. And they all look pretty good, but you can kind of see how he stacked up with a few other Hot Toys figures. And then for fun, here he is with the old Hasbro 3¾ Battle Damage Darth Vader, which you can tell they definitely got some inspiration from this Force Unleashed design with the way kind of the Battle Damage works with the leg exposed, the arm exposed, the left side of the torso exposed. You can see where they got the helmet design kind of from with that piece that's still hanging off from the special edition. Yeah, obviously a major upgrade, but sorry for the focusing. It doesn't want to focus on one or the other, or it wants to focus on the bigger one. But anyways, that's just for fun. Obviously, one was like $10 and this one was hundreds of dollars. So I guess now to finish it off, I'm going to get him displayed on the base with the cape, and you can get a good look at how that looks. All right, now I got it displayed with the plastic cape, and I might have it attached correctly. I'm gonna have to check it, but I have to pick up my tripod because this thing is so large on the stand and at the cape and everything. I have to, but the presence is just insane on this thing. The plastic cape looks absolutely fantastic. I love how the cape looks with the silhouette of his mask flowing in the wind. It looks super, super dope. I have the Battle Damage helmet on with the partially of the face exposed. It looks really good, and yeah, it looks fantastic. If I flip it around, you can kind of see where the cape kind of clip sits in this little plastic piece to kind of keep it set up properly. I think I might have to pop the head off and try to put it back on. Probably, I will say, getting the plastic cape on is a bit challenging because it's not soft, it's not super thin, it's not soft cloth or thin cloth rather. You can't just like push it and it'd be good to go. Yeah, the cape is meant to be on the figure a certain way, and you kind of have to fumble with it for a while, and it's awkward because the cape is such a large piece, and the figure itself is big, and the helmet is shaped a certain way. You got to maybe fiddle with it for a while to get it to actually look proper, but once you have it all set up, it looks absolutely awesome. Anyways, that's pretty much it all to talk about. Overall, it's an absolutely killer piece. I mean, if you are a Hot Toys Star Wars collector, and especially if you are a fan of Darth Vader like I am, this is a must-own piece if you can afford it, obviously. The Deluxe is the most expensive. It's a pretty expensive figure. So yeah, it's not potentially an easy thing to just buy, obviously. I had to go sideshow payment plan. Thank God for that. But it's an absolutely incredible piece. I can't see them. I feel it being, again, like I said, one of a kind. Like, they're just not going to make something like this again. So if it's something you're interested in and you can afford, I would highly, highly recommend picking it up. It is such an awesome figure that if you're interested, you're not going to want to miss out on. Anyways, that is pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.